Welcome back to my class. This is our second video on reagents and we will learn NBS reagent today. So to learn more chemistry related topics, do subscribe my channel JT Chemistry and share it with your friends. Let's begin. N-Bromosuccinimide, which is called NBS. So basically it is a convenient source of bromine for radical substitution. So as you can note here, free radical substitution of allylic or benzylic hydrogen. Okay, so we will see what is allylic position and benzylic position. So free radical substitution of these molecules by bromine in the presence of non-polar solvent. So first of all, we will see this example where you have a cyclohexene. So we'll find out first allylic position. You can see allylic position is the alpha position, as you can note here. So there are two alpha position with respect to the double bond. So this particular portion is called the allylic position. Okay, so the next carbon to the double bond. Okay, so this is a double bond. The next carbon to it is called the allylic carbon. Similarly, there are two allylic carbons. Since it is symmetrical, so the bromination can occur on any carbon here. So if the reagent is given NBS in the presence of non-polar solvent, on heating, the allylic hydrogen will be abstracted by bromine and by NBS, and the bromination will occur on here. So we'll see the mechanism first, how this is happening. So mechanism. So basically, as I told you, NBS is a convenient source of bromine and it is prepared from the succinimide and bromine. Okay, so basically if you add, this is a succinimide, if you add bromine into this, the N-Bromosuccinimide form. So the reaction is initiated by basically either heat, or it may be the initiator like AIBN or peroxide will be given to you. So it is the free radical formation reaction, and free radicals are highly active species, we know. So the reaction involves the free radical process, as you can note here. So basically what happens once the bromine free radical form, it abstraction of allylic, okay, hydrogen takes place by this bromine. So this is the allylic carbon. From here the hydrogen will be abstracted by it, as you can note down here, HBr, and generates a free radical on the allylic position. So this is highly active and resonance stabilized free radical. You can note here the double bond will shift here on this radical side, and another free radical will be formed here. So it is a resonance stabilized free radical. So we'll continue with this mechanism and see the HBr which formed previously will react with the N-Bromosuccinimide, and it forms a succinimide and bromine. So basically the role of NBS is the constant generation of the low concentration of bromine. Okay, so basically it generates, NBS generates low concentration of bromine in constant amount during the reaction. So once we have bromine here and you have an active site, that is the allylic free radical, the bromination takes place at the bromine and we get the allylic bromide. Okay, so this is the allylic bromination and the mechanism for the NBS. So we call it allylic bromination because the bromination occur at the allylic position. So we'll see the next example here. If you consider this particular example, you can notice with respect to this double bond, you have this alpha carbon, or you can say this is the allylic carbon. And we know the role of NBS, it does the bromination on the alpha or allylic carbon. So in the product, we should have a bromine here. Okay, but we know that the mechanism goes through free radical. So the free radical, it is generating here in between. So, and free radical along with the double bond, the resonance takes place. So you will have, if the resonance takes place, a free radical here also at CH2. Okay, so if the free radical is forming here with the shift of this double bond here, so this is then primary free radical and this is a secondary free radical, and we know the more substituted free radical are more stable, right? Like tertiary free radical is more stable than secondary, and then secondary is more stable than primary. So if you compare the two free radical intermediates, This is more stable free radical, and so it will be giving you the major product here. As you notice, you have a product with this bromination, allylic bromination, and so if this free radical will shift with this double bond, you will get a free radical here also at alpha position, and bromination occur here also. And you can note I have made a here asterisk mark that says it is a chiral center. So optical isomerism is there. You will get the enantiomers of this product, right? Enantiomer, this racemic mixture of this two, okay, two product you will get here. And since along with the double bond you have here two groups, so the two bulky groups may be on the same side or maybe on the opposite. So the geometrical isomers you will get here, cis or trans. So total, if you count the number of product, it will be 4 for this particular reaction. Okay, and in that one will be the major one. So the next reaction, again we have a allylic position here we need to find. So there are two allylic position. One is at the terminal carbon, primary, and the other one is the more branched one, okay, the secondary one. And we know that the secondary one is more stable as compared to the primary, so we can do the bromination here. You will get the other side also, but that will be the minor one. So this is the major one, and again it is the chiral center, so you'll get the racemic mixture here. One case bromine will be above the plane, in other case the bromine will be below the plane. So total, if you count total products, so total will be 4, 2 with respect to this chiral center, and if you do here 2 with respect to this. And if you have a geometrical isomerism, then again you have to sum it up. So for total number of product. Now next is, as we have mentioned that the NBS is used for allylic bromination as well as benzylic bromination. So what is benzylic position we need to find. So benzylic means it is an aromatic compound having CH2, right? And after CH2 it may be one alkyl group or it may be a longer chain. So basically we need one CH2 at least. So this particular portion, the fragment is called the benzylic. C6H5CH2 is called benzylic. So this is a benzylic position, and with the help of NBS, the bromination occur at this particular carbon. So this is a benzylic carbon, and we are having the product here. The mechanism will remain the same. We have already discussed about it. So this is again the para substituted. Both side you have allylic position with this, with respect to this double bond. The CH3 is allylic carbon, and with respect to this double bond, this CH3 is allylic carbon. So since it is two equivalent mentioned here, NBS, so both sides the bromination will occur and you'll have this product. Similarly, this CH2 will be considered as allylic carbon with respect to both, right? Both double bond from first aromatic ring. This is the allylic carbon. From the second aromatic ring also, this is the allylic carbon. And the NBS, or not allylic, benzylic carbon. Okay, so this is the benzylic carbon. In the previous case also, it was the benzylic carbon for both. Okay, so benzylic carbon. And in the presence of NBS, the benzylic bromination occur, and we'll have this product here. So the next reaction, again it is thiophene, and you have CH3 substitution here. And if you compare and if you see, notice this particular fragment, it is again you can consider allylic position, okay. And in the presence of NBS in non-polar solvent, benzoyl peroxide, as I told you, they may give either the in the presence of light or heat or maybe the initiator. So benzoyl peroxide is acting here as an initiator. Okay, in all the cases allylic and benzylic bromination will occur. So first we have to find out the allylic position and we have to do the bromination. So for those students, those who are attempting the competitive exam, any competitive IIT JAM or GATE or CSIR NET exam, you have to just write directly the product they will ask. Okay, so you can directly write. So this is a trick that whenever you get a compound here in the presence of NBS, you have to just find out allylic or benzylic position and directly you can put the bromine there. Okay, so you don't have to do the mechanism. We know the allylic position of benzylic and you will get the product there. So you can save your time. But for MSc students, you have to mention the mechanism. In the exam, they ask the mechanism in the presence of benzoyl peroxide, let's say. So you should know the mechanism. So this mechanism, particularly for MSc students, So for benzoyl peroxide, we have written this structure for benzoyl peroxide, and in the presence of light, the free radical formation will occur, which highly active species, it will react with the reactant and abstract the hydrogen, generate the free radical species at the allylic position. Now, what happens, the next step is we have the active species, active center, and you have the NBS reagent. So the bromine will be abstracted and the allylic bromination will occur, followed by the loss of the free radical species here, which will abstract the proton from the reactant and generate the succinimide. And again, in this step, it is regenerated the active position for the bromination. So in this way, in the presence of benzoyl peroxide, the initiation, the rate of reaction is increased here. Here the bromination occur in the first step itself compared to the previous mechanism. So the reaction is faster in the presence of initiator. Now, alpha bromination of ketone. So far, we used to know only that the bromination occur at allylic and benzylic position. Okay, so this was the picture in our mind. Now, let's say if they have given you this molecule, cyclohexanone, okay, and NBS is given, that is N-Bromosuccinimide. But here, we used to know that double bond should be there. With respect to that, we consider allylic position, or aromatic ring. With respect to that, we see the benzylic position. But here it is carbonyl compound. And here, if you notice again, the bromination is occurring at alpha position only. So this is the alpha position only, the bromination. So if you are attempting a competitive exam, so far we were doing the bromination either for benzylic or allylic alpha position. Here also you can make a note that this is the alpha position, two side it is symmetrical. So any side you can do the bromination, and this is considered as a allylic bromination. But what happens here exactly, the ketones which are having the enolizable protons, okay, hydrogen here, that can be brominated at this alpha position with this NBS. How? We will see the mechanism. Again, the mechanism is for MSc students. For competitive students, you can directly write down the product. I told you the trick is that that you have to just find the alpha position and do the bromination. Okay, so for ketone, just find the alpha position and do the bromination in the presence of NBS. But for MSc students, you have to mention the mechanism. So for making the enolizable proton here, we need acidic medium. So slide acidic medium so that this oxygen will be protonated, and the base which is released from this acid, that will abstract the proton next to the carbonyl group and generate the enol group here. Okay, so this is the enol form of ketone. And now this enol in the presence of NBS, which is generating the bromine. Okay, we have done the mechanism. Now you have to proceed with the same mechanism here. So this is your now reactant. Okay, now we have converted ketone to enol in the presence of acid. So the same mechanism, bromination generation in the presence of NBS, and then you see the mechanism, the electron will be donated by this oxygen, followed by the you can see the double bond is giving its electron to bromine, and the alpha bromination occurs with the loss of HBr here. And how you can notice here the loss of HBr, the H is giving its proton to this oxygen, satisfying this positive charge, and now finally you have the product, that is alpha bromo ketone. So this mechanism is basically required for MSc students, where you have to mention some more few steps here, how you have generated bromine with the help of NBS. So the very first mechanism which I told you for allylic position, you have to continue 2-3 steps here, and then you can show the complete mechanism if they give you the cyclohexanone or alpha or any ketone in the presence of NBS. The next is allylic bromination of alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. So alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, you can notice here we have alpha beta positions. This is alpha carbon with respect to the carbonyl, and this is beta. So alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, right? So this is the alpha beta unsaturated moiety, and we are saying allylic bromination. So with respect to this double bond, the allylic position, we know this one is the allylic position, right? So NBS in the presence of a non-polar solvent and peroxide, that is initiator, the allylic bromination will occur. So basically, the not only the alkenes, okay, the alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound also show the bromination at allylic position. So if this kind of compound is given to you, you can do easily the bromination at allylic position. So here again the trick is you just have to find out the allylic position and do the bromination without doing the mechanism. For those who are from MSc background, and if they are asking you to show the mechanism, so you can show the same mechanism which I show you for benzoyl peroxide here, if they mention the benzoyl peroxide. Same way for alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, that is ketone. Here it was ester, alpha beta unsaturated ester, alpha beta unsaturated ketone. Same in here it was, they were using the peroxide, now they are heating it. Okay, either they may use a light also, H nu photochemically. And now again we have to do the allylic bromination. We know alpha beta unsaturated, we have to do the allylic bromination. So we need to find this allylic position is already occupied by methyl group, so not possible here. We need to find the next one. The next one is free. This is the allylic position with respect to this double bond, and so the bromination will occur at this position. So directly you can do the bromination here without doing the mechanism. Okay, otherwise the mechanism is the same, the first mechanism which I show you for allylic position. The next application of NBS is addition reaction. Okay, so let's say you have NBS, the cyclohexane. We have discussed it already, but in the presence of NBS, we do the allylic bromination, right? But along with that, if they give you H2O, that is a polar solvent here, right? H2O is a polar solvent. So in that case, instead of allylic bromination, the addition takes place. Okay, addition takes place and you get this trans product here. So how we will see the mechanism. So for those who are attempting any competitive exam, you just make a note, in the presence of NBS and H2O, you get the trans bromohydrin product here. Okay, so you have OH one side and you have bromine from NBS and OH from water, and the position of the two with respect to each other is trans. Okay, so stereochemistry is trans to each other, so that you can make a note. You don't have to do the mechanism. But for our MSc students, we'll see the mechanism, how it is happening. So we have the cyclohexane here in the presence of N-Bromosuccinimide here, cyclobromonium ion form here. Okay, so cyclobromonium ion, and we have the water here, which is the polar solvent. So with the SN2 mechanism, the backside attack will happen here, followed by the opening of this ring, and the position of Br is above the plane because it is SN2, so Br will go above the plane. OH is attacking from down the plane, and this positive charge, again the proton will be abstracted by the imide, the carbon ion which is generated in the very first step will abstract the proton, and you get the trans product here. Oxidation. The next reaction is oxidation. Now here we have alpha hydroxy acid in the presence of NBS and aqueous solvent. So what happens here, you can notice since we have written here oxidation, the oxidation takes place and this alcohol is converted to aldehyde with the loss of one carbon. Same with the alpha amino acids in the presence of NBS and aqueous solvent. What happens? The oxidation takes place and this converts to aldehyde and with the loss of one carbon atom. So basically the two reactions are based on the degradative oxidation, where the one carbon is lost here. So you can see here as one carbon is released as a carbon dioxide and the aldehyde oxidation takes place. Okay, alcohol is converted to aldehyde, amine is converted to aldehyde. Similarly, if you have primary alcohol in the presence of same aqueous solvent and NBS, the oxidation takes place to aldehyde here. For secondary alcohol, it convert into ketone. So primary alcohol oxidized to aldehyde, while secondary alcohol oxidized to ketone. So this is the two reactions are oxidation, because here the number of carbon remain the same. While in case of alpha amino acid and alpha hydroxy acid, the one carbon was less, but all the four reactions based on oxidation. So this is another application of NBS, which was is like it's an application we didn't know about it. Like we used to know only the allylic and benzylic bromination, but we have seen not only the allylic and benzylic bromination, but also it does have application in addition reaction, in oxidation reaction, in the allylic bromination of alpha beta unsaturated ketone. So now we are familiar of the role of NBS in different category of reactants. So I hope now you can attempt any problem on NBS reagent. But if you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment box. See you in the next video. Bye.